I understand the Municipal Act, the secrecy issue. I'm wondering if at the complainant stage, because the secrecy pertains to information given to the Integrity Commissioner, I'm wondering if the complainant stage, if it's a generic complaint, it should be made public, as opposed to an individual complaint that I don't agree necessarily should be made public. I think if you have an individual complaint against someone, I think if we agree to the formal stage of sending it to an Integrity Commissioner, then I think at that stage, if it's found to be a non-frivolous complaint, then there will be a report to that effect, and that will be made public.
Yes, however,
Correct.
the secrecy will still be maintained in the report. If you read through the...
Right.
Yes.
But there will be an investigation.
There will be an investigation,
And
and there will be a finding. Yes, correct.
So I'm wondering if on generic ones, like this precedent-setting one, if until the Integrity Commissioner is involved, just so that the public rests assured that we're not covering up or, trying to minimize the allegations that have been made, if we should be making it public, putting it online, I don't know.
Yes.
In the recommendation, one of the recommendations when we get to it is that there are existing Integrity Commissioners out there who are on a part-time basis and have some experience with this. And part of the role that I'm suggesting we might want to consider asking to do is an advice role and give you some advice. Most of them are solicitors, so they would be able to tell you where you're walking the fine line and where you're not. So if you could defer that discussion to when the Integrity Commissioner comes, if you would certainly be elected answer that.
Out of the way. There's no appeal process in this, is there? So this is a done deal. If the Integrity Commissioner says this is a frivolous complaint, there's no appeal for the complaint, correct?
Well, there's a flow chart that, once we get a process going, that I will submit to you, see. But you're correct, that if he or she determines it's frivolous, that complaint would go by the wayside. However, that person could still submit another one if they want to go back and review their complaint and maybe tailor it differently.
Okay. And then I noticed just a couple of things in terms of processing the complaint. We haven't really said anything here about the complainant, and we don't want to make the analogy of a criminal court. We don't want to go there. This is really a civil action, and I'm not a tort lawyer, so I'm not an expert here. But we don't want to get into this. The accused has a right to face their accuser, and get into the criminal discussion. But I'm just wondering, throughout the process, the complainant is there some method we can advise the complainant of what stage the complaint is at? I don't see it in here, and I'm wondering if we should have something in our procedure that says every 15 days or whatever the Integrity Commissioner will be asked to keep the complainant informed of.
We can, the flow chart too does have an opportunity, certainly the Integrity Commissioner will need to talk to the complainant throughout the process. But I think one of the things also suggested is if these people who you will be considering have some experience with it, that they could perhaps tell you the process that they use that they found successful.
Okay.
So that might be included in that.
And I understand.
Keep the complainant advised.
And I understand we have two complaints on the table now. Mine is one, I don't know what the other one is. These complaints, if we say tonight we're going to have a fee, I think those complaints should be grandfathered.
Correct. I would suggest that.
Yeah, because I don't know the other, but I think whatever complaints have been established under this. Another question for you. It says under processing complaints, council refers complaints to the Integrity Commissioner. If a member of council makes a complaint about another member of council, does that mean then that a majority of council has to approve that complaint being forwarded to the Integrity Commissioner? It doesn't refer to members of council, it just says council will refer to complaints.
I think, if I remember, council may refer a complaint, and that would be council as a whole.
All right.
However, individual members of council can submit complaints as well.
But I think we need to make that, I think we need to distinguish that, because if I want to complain against Councillor Scott, See, she's threatening, and that's a violation. But do I have to come back to council and say, I'd like to make a formal complaint against you?
Absolutely, you're not allowed to do that.
That I think it needs to be clear though, because we use the term council, and I think, the other thing, I like the idea of the time to process the complaint. One of the questions I have with that is, if we aren't aware, and correct me here, Carol, because I read this over a few times, but correct me, you may have it in here, there's a lot to this. If the complainant is not aware of the offense taking place or the complaint taking place, and it's outside of the 60 days, is that 60 days still going to kick in?
It's a little confusing on page 149, but it does talk about the 60 days is after the date when the event or series of events which are subject to the law were discovered by the complainant.
Right, okay.
So it's when he or she became aware of them.
Okay,
And it
perfect.
does have a little bit more of a definition of when they became aware of it. And there does have to be a kind of a limit as well.
Yeah,
It
that's
does, the last one says the date on which a reasonable person with the abilities and in the circumstances of the complainant first should have known. See, if the person's away in a different country and then comes back, that's not really fair to the person they would be complaining about. If it took place years and years before and no one's standing there. So it does have to have some time frame to make it relative and to make sure that the person has the opportunity to defend against it as well.
Perfect. Two more quick things, Mr. Mayor, and I think I'm done. What would be a reasonable time frame for complaint resolution, do you think? I do see it in here now.
Again, I would refer to the integrity,
Okay.
I don't know,
Okay.
I've been reading through their reports, and some certainly have a lot more,
Maybe the nature of the complaint.
I would think so.
Extent of the investigation.
if it's relatively easy, I would assume that they would deal with it fairly quickly. Or some of them are quite involved, so it might take a little bit longer.
Okay, thank you.
And they do operate on a part-time basis as well, so I'm sure it would depend on what their other schedule was as well.
And lastly, could I ask, and maybe council has to approve, I would like members of council to read my complaint, so I would ask that that be distributed to these members of council. Can we do that?
Technically, no.
Okay.
According to Munis Black, no. Now, again, if the integrity commissioner comes and says, yes, you can, then that would be fine. Could we wait until then?
Yeah, I'm just saying, under our process right now, it says formal complaints go to council.
Right, but you specifically asked that it go to the integrity commission. I'm sorry, whoever laid the complaint asked that it go to the integrity commission.
No, I thought we as a council agreed with that. I didn't like that.
Correct.
We as a council agreed to go to the integrity.
The resolution from council was that it go to the integrity commission.
Okay, so you want, okay, but here you see it's a chicken and egg, because we don't have the process in place, and this is where we, right? So, okay, council can direct on that.
If you wouldn't, again, I would defer to the integrity commission, there's a little bit more experience certainly than I do.
Okay.
So the first part of this would be to go through the
There's-
process of selecting
There's a
an
few
integrity commission.
issues in here that I would like.
You'd like an answer
direction
to?
from council.
Complaint form number 1 is the one I have checked.
Now, council had an opportunity to look at the complaint form, we need to put that in place, and give somebody a direction as well as to what information that the integrity commissioner would be looking for.
Okay, so
But
in
again,
agreement,
anything that's already in would be exempt from any rules with respect to it.
I want to go point by
If
point.
we could, please, that would be great.
Okay. Do you need a motion on that? Or do you want to-
we select the affidavit and the fee.
Yeah.
Start and go discuss it and then go back and if it's free, then
What do you like?
You want to go for a point by point of motion on each one, so provide clarity? Okay, number 1, complaint form for standardization, provide guidance to persons submitting complaints, recommend municipal affidavit and submission form be approved, a draft form is considered attachment 1. Moved by Councilor Lonsdale, second by Councilor McGuire. Question, Deputy Mayor Dag.
Yes, I just have a bit of a wording, a problem with wording that says that probable grounds to believe that a member of the municipality, in some instances it may be more than a member, on the affidavit.
Okay, so we could have an S.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
And sorry, I did note something today too, I'm sorry, number 3 said the affidavit is made for the purpose of making a complaint for consideration by, and it does have a municipality of Atlantic Shores Council, however, if you decide that those formal ones go to the integrity commissioner, that one could be amended.
okay. All All in favor of that? Using attachment 1.